After obtaining the fourth stone, the atmosphere was filled with tension and caution. The eternal shadow revealed itself clearly this time, declaring that the end was near. Sami was now stronger than ever, but he felt that each step brought him closer to a confrontation from which he might not emerge alive. That night, Sami sat with his friends around a small fire they had lit in the ruins of the destroyed city. The birds said, "We have 4 stones now, but what's next? Are we going to attack the eternal shadow directly?" The crystal tiger replied with concern about the unknown power of the shadow. Sami looked at his friends and said firmly, "We need to be smart. The stones alone are not enough. We need to find the weak point of the eternal shadow. There is something it is hiding from us, and I am sure the key is somewhere." As they were talking, a strange light appeared from the sky, and they heard a voice filled with awe. It was the voice of the old guardian who sacrificed himself. "Sami, do not underestimate the power of the eternal shadow. There is a hidden place called the Temple of Truth." The voice suddenly disappeared, but the message left everyone in silence. The birds said, "Temple of Truth? But that means we'll have to enter the shadow world." Sami replied resolutely, "If that's the only way, we won't hesitate. There is no time for fear now." As they approached the gate leading to the shadow world, the sky was covered with black clouds, and a cold wind swept the place. The gate was a giant whirl of darkness, emitting frightening sounds as if warning them not to enter. The crystal tiger said, "Once we enter, there will be no return. Are we ready for this?" Sami replied with a small smile, "We've overcome the impossible before. This is just another step toward victory." When they crossed the gate, they found themselves in a world filled with darkness. The ground was covered with strange ash, and the air was heavy as if filled with sorrow. "This place, it looks like the end of everything," said the bird in a low voice. Suddenly, the ground began to shake, and strange creatures of shadows appeared. Their shapes were distorted, and their eyes glowed red. The creatures attacked them violently. Sami and his companions fought bravely, using the energy of the stones and the weapons they had gathered. But the shadow creatures were strong and persistent. Sami said, "We won't stop here. We are stronger than the darkness." With a mix of cooperation and courage, they managed to defeat the creatures, but they realized this was just a small test compared to what awaited them. As they walked through the dark lands, a black river appeared before them, separating them from the mountain that housed the Temple of Truth. The river seemed alive, moving as if searching for prey. The guardian who accompanied them said cautiously, "This is the river of tormented souls. If you wish to cross it, you must face your hardest memories. It is a test of the spirit." Sami held his hands and felt a slight tremor. But he said resolutely, "We've overcome so much. This test won't stop us." When they crossed the river, spirits of the past began to appear before them. Sami saw his father, whom he had lost in his childhood. His father said to him in a sad voice, "Sami, why risk everything? Why not return and live a normal life?" Sami felt tears falling from his eyes, but he replied with determination, "Because this is my destiny." The bird saw his mother, who he lost years ago, while the tiger saw his dearest friend who sacrificed himself to save him. Everyone faced their hardest memories, but they managed to overcome the pain and move forward. When they finally reached the Temple of Truth, the place pulsed with strange energy. In the center of the temple, there was a huge inscription bearing mysterious symbols. As Sami approached, green energy emerged and surrounded him. A deep voice from inside the temple said, "Sami, you have proven your courage. But the truth you will learn here may change everything. Are you ready?" Sami replied confidently, "I am ready. Whatever the truth, I will face it." A giant image of the eternal shadow appeared before Sami. But the surprise was that the image showed that the eternal shadow was not merely an enemy, but a part of the energy that created the worlds. The voice said, "Shadow and light are part of balance. One cannot be destroyed without the other. If you want to defeat the eternal shadow, you must sacrifice something great." Sami asked with a trembling voice, "What is the sacrifice?" The voice answered, "You will discover that soon. But remember, power alone will not save you. A sincere heart is the key to victory." Sami left the temple carrying a new burden. The truth he learned made the mission harder, but he was determined to move forward. Stay tuned for the next part, where the final confrontation with the eternal shadow begins.